know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're here this morning to share information, updates, activities, as much as we can with you. We are so excited. This is 2023, and we have term 2 of the academic calendar, and everyone knows that term 2 is often very exciting, and so there are so many activities, so many things happening, and it is indeed a pleasure for us to be able to share some of what is happening with you today. Of course, we are aware that we like to start off by sharing our scholarship opportunities, and there are 2 that have been long running that will be closing out in March, and then there was one that was added this week, so I'll share those with you so that you know what is happening. This is for persons who are interested in pursuing tertiary education at the various levels. I know that some of you, I'm hoping that our school leavers enjoyed their career fair this week, and that you were able to get a better idea as to which pathway you want to follow. So the previous scholarships first, I'll start with those. So we have the financial assistance from the NIA, and once again the deadline is March 31st, Friday, March 31st, for the submission of requests for financial assistance from the NIA. And so the Ministry of Human Resources is pleased to inform you that they are now accepting applications for persons wishing to pursue higher education and are interested in receiving financial assistance from the Nevis Island Administration, NIA. An individual may apply for financial assistance whether or not the individual is employed by the NIA. Interested persons must adhere to the following guidelines for the application to be considered. You need to submit a cover letter addressed to Mr. Edson Elliott, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Human Resources, requesting the financial assistance. The letter should also state the course of study, why you wish to undergo the specified field of education, and how will such training influence your professional development. You also need to state how your professional development will contribute to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and the commencement date and expected duration of your studies. Also submit an original university acceptance letter. University applicants who have not yet received the acceptance letter are encouraged to still apply, providing that they have evidence that the university has received the application. A breakdown of the course fees from the requested university, completed financial assistance form, which you can get from the Ministry of Human Resources, and your birth certificate or certificate of citizenship. You must be individual by birth or citizenship. Kindly note that the financial aid awardees will be required to fulfill bonding obligations with the NIA, and as I said, you can get that form from Mrs. Liebert, Shelley Jones Liebert, or Mrs. Shanola Moray Gill at the Ministry of Human Resources. So that's the financial assistance from the NIA. You also have the UVI scholarship. This one comes from the University of the Virgin Islands, and so the government of St. Kitts and Nevis invites graduates of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College CFBC, as well as the Nevis Sixth Form College, to apply for the UVI scholarship. Persons who may have graduated years ago are certainly welcome to apply. Scholarships are only available to graduates who are interested in undertaking studies at UVI for a maximum of 4 years. The following documents are required to be delivered to the Ministry of Human Resources by Thursday, March 30th, 2023. You need 1 original and 2 copies of your completed application form, 1 original and 2 certified copies of a birth certificate, 1 original and 2 certified copies of your high school certificates of qualification, 1 original and 2 certified copies of your college certificates of qualification, and 1 original and 2 certified copies of the university acceptance letter. Application forms are available at the Ministry of Human Resources and Nevis Island Administration, located on the 2nd floor of the Social Security Building, Penny's Estate. And should you have any concerns or questions, you can feel free to reach out to the lovely ladies. I mentioned their names earlier, Mrs. Gill and Mrs. Jones-Liburd. And if you need help in St. Kitts, Miss Jamila Adams is your contact person. The contact person for the University of the Virgin Islands is Dr. Eustace Esdale, and he's a professor of accounting, School of Business, UVI. And so you can contact him at sknrecruits@uvi.edu or 664-7166. We also have the deadline for that one. The deadline for applications is March 30th. So the first one, NIA, is March 31st. The second one is March 30th. And then we have the Taiwan MOFA and ICDF scholarships, and those are currently open. And so the NIA, Ministry of Human Resources, has received the call for the Taiwan MOFA and ICDF scholarships 2023. Interested persons are encouraged to exploit the opportunities made available to pursue undergraduate and graduate degree studies. The scholarship benefits include airfare, housing, tuition fees, insurance, textbooks, and a monthly allowance. The following are general application guidelines. One must apply to their preferred university as well as to the Taiwan Embassy in St. Kitts. The university will present a permission slip which must be included with the embassy's application. Each applicant can only apply for one program, so either the ICDF or the MOFA. Individuals can only apply to one university, and the application must also be emailed to that university. It is vital to be mindful of the deadlines set by each university. Applicants are advised to complete a medical test after the application has been approved. Along with the completed application form, there must also be an original passport and education certificate, as well as 2 copies of all documents. Copies must be clear, meaning easily read, and precise with no cutoffs. And there are some procedures that you need to follow, so it is recommended that you get those pieces of information. It is strongly recommended that applicants have a GPA, a minimum GPA of 3.5. Completed applications must be submitted to the Ministry of Human Resources by Thursday, February 16th, 2023, and Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023. So the ICDF is February 16th and the MOFA is February 22nd. Other notifications will specify later deadlines. However, these dates are for applications to be received by the embassy, not Human Resources. Therefore, the ministry will not accept any applications received after the aforementioned dates. For further information regarding the application, eligibility, etc., kindly visit the websites for the ICDF and MOFA, and you can get those links on the NIA Scholarships Facebook page or by contacting the Ministry of Human Resources. Your contact persons in St. Kitts, Mrs. Carol Body at the Ministry of Education. In Nevis, Mrs. Shanola Marie Gill or Mrs. Shelley Jones-Liburd at the Ministry of Human Resources. And Mr. Damien I. Ching Liao or Mr. Jack Lee at the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan. That's in Taylor's Range, Basse, St. Kitts. So those are your contact persons for those scholarships. And then the final one that has been released for the week, there's one more, an additional scholarship opportunity, but we'll take a short break, and when we return, I'll share that bit of information.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's youth on the go. Youth on the go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Sugar City St. Kitts, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
Good morning for those of you just tuning in. You are listening to Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're here to share with you on this edition of Youth on the Go. We have quite a bit of updates and information. We have some activities, and today is the third Saturday of the month. We have ECCB Children's Connection Program at the bottom of the hour, and so we will come before the break. We were sharing some scholarship opportunities for tertiary education, and for those who tuned in, you can always go to the NIA Scholarships Facebook page to learn more, or you can contact the Ministry of Human Resources to learn more. So we have the final announcement, scholarship announcement for this week is the OAS Scholarships 2023, and so the Ministry of Human Resources, NIA, wishes to inform that the Organization of the American States has declared the call for the 2023 scholarship applications for undergraduate academic studies and graduate research. Please be guided by the following stipulations. Applications for the undergraduate studies, that's your bachelor's degree programs, those are your bachelor's degree programs, should be already enrolled in a program and be eligible to graduate within 2 academic years. Applicants for the graduate studies should have completed 1 year or have an acceptance letter from the university where he or she plans to study. Scholarship benefits. OAS scholarships have a monetary cap of US $10,000 per academic year for a minimum of 1 and no more than 2 academic years. Funds may cover the following benefits and are assigned on a case-by-case basis: tuition and mandatory fees, health insurance, monthly complimentary subsistence allowance, round-trip air ticket, books and study materials. Undergraduate scholarship applicants can apply online, and there is a link to the OAS's application program, and the graduate studies scholarship opportunities are also available there. For more information and for scholarship requirements, selection process, evaluation criteria, eligibility requirements, and more, please refer to the OAS scholarship page as well. Now, if you need the link to all of these pages, you can go on to the NIA Scholarships Facebook page and you will find those pieces of information. Applications and supporting documents must be received by the Ministry of Human Resources on or before Monday, 6th March 2023 for onward processing. So the timeline for this one is very short. We have just about a month and a half or so for the OAS scholarship. So listeners, persons interested in pursuing tertiary education, we have the OAS scholarship, we have the Taiwan ICDF MOFA scholarship, so so far those are 3, and then we have the UVI scholarship opportunity, and there is the opportunity for financial assistance from the Nevis Island administration. I often say it's important for us to pursue these opportunities because the cost of tertiary education and the cost associated with tertiary education, especially when you're traveling, can be really high, and so we want to encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities. Don't let the deadlines pass, and don't wait until it's too late to apply. We also know that this term is an active term on our sports calendar, and we have our first track and field meet on Nevis tomorrow. Scheduled on Nevis for tomorrow. The Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School is celebrating its 15th anniversary. They had an action-packed week. They had their Wear Yellow Day. They had their pep rally. They had the unveiling of their new sign. They had a church service last Saturday, and they have the annual relay festival taking place tomorrow. And so it is an action-packed, it promises to be an action-packed day. In fact, there are different relay events, medleys, and things along that line. We encourage everyone to stop by the Nevis Athletic Stadium. The event starts at 1:30 p.m. and we will see our schools, primary and secondary schools, participating. Adults, your admission fee is $10. Children, your admission fee is $5. We should be able to see the 4x1, one of my favorites. We should see the 4x150. That's not a traditional race. We should see the 4x2. We don't see that one as often either. We'll see the 4x3. We'll see the 4x4. So 4x1, 4x150. 4x2, 4x3, 4x4, which we're accustomed to seeing. And there are relay medleys, which are mixed relays. So you might see one leg running 4x1, the next leg running 4x2, the next leg running by 4x3, and the next leg running 4x4. Or they might do two 4x2s, and they mix it up. So we'll have the mixed medley races. They'll have the ones I just announced. And who does not love a relay? I think the highlight of any track meet is often the relay, and tomorrow you get a chance to see all relays. Totally, a lot of relays happening at one time. So support the school, support the children, support the other schools, because of course we'll have representation. Even though it's being hosted by EPPS, we have representation from a number of primary and secondary schools. Sponsored by A1 Farms. I want to say good morning and thank you to Mr. Truss and team at A1 Farms for the sponsorship of this event. All right, so also on the sports calendar, because we know it's a very packed calendar, as we said, we have many meets over the next few days. In fact, in a few weeks. And in fact, we start next week, the week after Elizabeth Pemberton Primaries, we'll start our preschool meets. Our preschools will be having their meets this year. I know that it has been a while, and since our preschools have had their meets, and many persons have looked forward to seeing the various preschool meets. So we'll have the 27th of January, Maud Smith Preschool will have their meet. And note that on the 29th of January, and this one is on the federal calendar of activities, we see the Giant Malt Relay Championship. So we have relays again. That one is taking place in St. Kitts at 2 p.m. at the Kim Collins Stadium, and it's a relay championship and cheerleading competition. Costs: covered stands $40, metal stands $20, general admission $10, children $5. Okay, so far we've had the 22nd, the 27th for Malt Smith Preschool, the 29th we'll have Giant Malt Relay Championship. The 5th of February we'll see Charlestown Secondary Schools meet. The 16th of February we'll see Gingerland Secondary Schools meet. February 22nd, Charlestown Primary. February 23rd, Elizabeth Pemberton Primary. February 28th, Nevis Academy, match 2nd. Joycelyn Liebert Primary, match 3rd. Ivor Walters Primary, match 7th. St. James Primary, match 8th. St. Thomas's Primary, match 9th. V and J's Preschool, match 10th. We'll see VOJN Primary having their meet, Gingerland Pre, and Montessori Academy. On March 11th and 12th, we'll have the Nevis High Schools Championship, and that's just a competition among the three high schools on Nevis. On March 14th, Cicely Brown Integrated will have their meet. March 16th, Maud Cross Prep. March 17th, Ines France Pre. March 20th, Vernon Lou Preschool. March 21st, St. John's Preschool. March 23rd, Kamumea Preschool. March 28th, Charlestown Preschool. And on April 5th, Nevis Primary Schools Championship. Some of us know it as Interprimary. And so those are the meets that are on the current track schedule. There are other meets that will take place. There are federal meets which are scheduled to take place, which will see competition between St. Kitts and Nevis, athletes from St. Kitts and Nevis, and those are not included on the list that I just shared with you. But I wanted to make sure that you are aware of what is coming up and that you can save your dates. One, ask off for those who need to ask off, and of course, outside of saving the date, we also want you to know that we are looking for your support in all of these activities. An updated schedule will be shared by next week, and that schedule will give you the venues for the various sports meets coming up. Before we switch over to the ECCB Children's Connection program, I want to share a reminder with all of us that it is flu season. It is flu season, and we are asking our parents, our guardians, to be vigilant. We want to remind you to teach and reinforce the hygienic practices with your children at home, as we try to do the same at school. And we are also asking that if your child is sick, that you have your child remain at home so that we do not have other children picking up the various viruses. So please, parents, we're asking once again, if your child is exhibiting flu-like symptoms, coughs and runny noses, and especially fevers, please make sure that you keep them at home. And we're asking the schools as well that if we see children coming with flu-like symptoms, that we call the parents and ask them to take them back home until those symptoms have cleared. It is important for us to have a healthy system, and we have seen in the past, even prior to COVID, where our teachers get sick because our children might bring some of the viruses to school. Other children get sick, and we are not able to function well as a system because if everyone has to remain at home, so we're not able to function well. And we want to encourage you to be your brother's keeper, as we teach our children these fundamental skills of being their brother's keeper, of being their sister's keeper. We want to ask you, parents, to model that for them so that they can have an awareness of what it means to look out for others and to ensure that we protect ourselves and we protect others. All children are reminded, like I said, to wash their hands frequently, to use the hand sanitizers where hand washing stations or the opportunity for washing their hands isn't available. But please help us as we help you to keep each other safe and healthy. And on that note, we are going to take a short break and return for the ECCB Children's Connection program.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's youth on the go. Youth on the go, oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go. I will learn new things, I will be creative. Grab the gators, let's gather around, an adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring.
welcome to the ECCB's Children Connection program. I am your host, Zahnela Claxton, and I have a guest voice co-host today in the person of Melissa. Melissa is going to support. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi.
All right. And so, of course, we want to wish everyone on behalf of the ECCB Children's Connection program a Happy New Year, since it's the first time that we've had the program for 2023. And we are so excited to have you back, and we look forward to a great year with the ECCB's Children's Connection program here on Von Radio. Remember, on the last program, we said that we were going to talk about demand's twin brother, supply, because the last time we talked about demand. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back to hear all about demand's twin brother, supply.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
All right, so welcome to ECCB Children's Connection program, a program produced by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And today we will learn some very interesting things about how people make choices to get their goods and services they want, and how businesses make decisions. So grab your pencils, children, and grab your notebooks and get ready to take notes, because we want you to win fun prizes and surprises at the end of the lesson if you answer the questions correctly. We have a story to share with our listening friends, Melissa, and to begin our discussion today, tell us the title of the story.
The title of the story is How Ethan Learned About Supply and Demand.
Okay, so let's go. I'll be Mr. Benjamin, the teacher, and you can be his student, Ethan.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Benjamin, can you help me with a homework assignment?
Sure, Ethan. With what do you need help?
Mr. Benjamin, I don't even know. My teacher said I should come up with a few examples of supply and demand, and I don't even know anything about this subject.
Well, this is a very important subject about how the world works.
Well, why would anyone want to study a subject like that?
Studying this helps us to know how much goods and services companies need to produce and sell, and for how much they should sell them. For example, if we don't produce goods, then people will not want to buy. So companies have to make goods that people want to buy so they can sell them and make money. Then they can hire more and more people to work. This keeps the world going.
Oh, I think I get it, Mr. Benjamin. So, are you saying that if we do not care about video games or toys or the latest clothing, then there is no point in producing them because nobody wants them?
Exactly. Now, you're starting to get it, Ethan. Think about how you and your friends are always wanting the latest toy or clothing. Well, all the toys and clothing in the stores are the supply. When you ask your mom or dad to get you that new pair or latest sneakers, that's the demand.
Oh, I see. So supply and demand kind of work together like a team.
Yes, they do. Great job, Ethan. Think about them like twin brothers helping out each other. They also help the businesses decide on the prices of their goods and services.
Really? How do they do that?
You see, when supply is high, this means there is a lot of an item to sell. The store owner is likely to sell the item at a lower price. However, when the supply is low, meaning that there aren't many of the items to sell, the store owner tends to sell it at a higher price.
Ah, I see. So if the demand of a pair of sneakers is high because many of us want it, then the price will go up. And if the demand is low because the sneakers are no longer popular, then the price will drop.
That's right. You caught on quickly, Ethan. So, do you think you can now give your teacher some examples of supply and demand for your homework?
Oh yes, Mr. Benjamin. I am going to do that right now. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Ethan. Alright, so that was a story, boys and girls, that we shared with you, and we hope that you were able to also understand supply and demand. And the story was entitled How Ethan Learned About Supply and Demand. So I don't think it was just Ethan who learned about supply and demand. I'm hoping that all of you were able to learn about supply and demand. In the last lesson, we learned that demand can be referred to as how many people want a good or service, or how popular a product is. Today, we learned that supply is how much of a product is available for sale. Mr. Benjamin gave some examples of supply in the story. In fact, he used the examples to explain how supply affects prices. Mr. Benjamin explained that when there is a lot of an item or the supply is high, the price will be lower. On the other hand, when there is very little of an item, meaning that the supply is low, the price will be higher. Let's think of some examples, boys and girls, of supply and demand. In fact, Ethan gave some examples. Ethan understood that when an item is popular, meaning that its demand is high, the price will increase. But when it is no longer popular, or when the demand is low, the price will drop. There is one more thing we should know about our twin brothers' supply and demand. Boys and girls, do you know what a seesaw is? I hope that most of you have been on a seesaw. Okay? But a seesaw is a toy that children play on with their friends. One child sits on either end, and they each bounce themselves up and down. If one child is heavier, the lighter child ends up going up. If they are the same weight, the seesaw will not move. We call that equilibrium. Equilibrium. And equilibrium is a big word. We're going to pronounce it again for you. Equilibrium. And we spell equilibrium EQUILIBRIUM. Equilibrium. That's EQUILIBRIUM. Equilibrium. Equilibrium also happens to supply and demand. So the example we gave to you, boys and girls, was equilibrium on a seesaw. Okay, when two persons are about the same weight and they balance it out, and that we call that equilibrium, because it doesn't go up or down. Equilibrium happens with supply and demand because when the supply and demand are equal, this is also called equilibrium. I'm hoping that's your word of the week. For example, if someone is selling 5 mangoes, the supply for mangoes is 5. If there are 5 people wanting to buy 1 mango each, the demand for the mangoes is also 5. This means that the demand and the supply are equal. This is equilibrium. I'm going to repeat it so that you're following me, because it's important, boys and girls, for us to understand what equilibrium is. Okay? And for those who are at home watching, equilibrium, the spelling is on your screen. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you should be able to see the word equilibrium. Equilibrium happens to supply and demand because when supply and demand are equal, this is also called equilibrium. An example is if someone is selling 5 mangoes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the supply for the mangoes is 5. If there are 5 people wanting to buy 1 mango each, the demand for the mangoes is also 5. This means that the demand and the supply are equal. This is called equilibrium. Alright, so now that we've learned so much about our twin brothers, we're going to find out or see how much our listening friends remember. So I'm hoping that those of you at home remember most of what we talked about. We are going to listen and we're going to see if you're ready, if you listened, if you took your notes, and if you understand all of what we talked about. We'll take a short jingle break and we'll be right back.
Connecting our children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Alright, so we are back and we'll see if our friends remember what we learned today about supply and how he works with his twin brother demand. Please call us at 469-1616 or 469-1700 for a chance to win some fun prizes. All you have to do is to be the first one to answer one of the questions correctly. And we are going to read all of the questions. We're going to read all 4 questions, and we have time for us to hopefully for 4 winners. And so we will go through all of the questions, and when you call, you'll tell us which question you are answering. If you are at home, the questions will be on your Facebook page or your screen, Facebook or YouTube. You will be able to see the questions. Okay? Question 1. What is supply? What is supply? And remember the numbers are 469-1616, 469-1700. The second question is a true or false question. The second question is a true or false question. Businesses often increase prices when supply is low. Businesses often increase prices when supply is low. Remember, you can call in at any time as we read the questions. If you have the answer, you can call in and share your answer. So question 1, what is supply? Question 2 is a true or false question. So all you have to do is call in and tell me true if the answer is true, or you tell me false if the answer is false. The statement is businesses often increase prices when supply is low. The third question is also a true or false question. When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. Remember the numbers to call? 469-1616, 469-1700. We have a call. Oh, sorry, we lost that caller. Okay, caller, give us a call right back and just tell us which question you want to answer. So far, we've read 3 questions of the 4, and you can see all 4 on your screen at home if you are on Facebook or YouTube. 1, what is supply? You just give us the definition of supply. Question 2 is a true or false question. Businesses often increase prices when supply is low, and you just let us know if that is true or that is false. Question 3 is also a true or false. When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. And if there's a particular question that you want me to repeat when you call in, you can ask me to do that as well. So we've had questions 1, 2, and 3 so far, and you can just give us a call at 469-1616, 469-1700, and we will love to hear from you with your answer. Remember, your prizes come from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. They can be collected at the Department of Education. Question 4. Which of these will be in high supply at the stores at the beginning of a new school term? Which of these will be in high supply at the stores at the beginning of the school term? Okay, we have a caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, which question do you want to answer?
The second question.
Okay, businesses often increase prices when supply is low. Is that true or false?
False.
Okay, that is incorrect. All right, so do you want to give us a call right back? Think about it and give us a call right back, or you want to tell you thought about it and you want to give us your answer now?
Okay.
Okay, do you want to give us the answer now, or do you want to think about it and call back?
Give us answer now.
Okay, go ahead.
The answer is true.
True. What is your name?
Levandra Hanley.
Okay, I got your last name. I didn't get your first name.
Levandra Hanley.
Okay, L-E.
L-E-V-A-N-D-R-E.
Okay, what school?
A-N-L-E-Y.
What school do you attend, Levandre?
I go to primary school.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
Grade 2.
Okay, and who's your teacher?
Miss Herbert.
Miss Herbert. Okay, well, make sure you have a great week next week, and congratulations, you're correct. Okay, and so our other 3 questions are still available for a few more minutes. Question 1, what is supply? Question 3, when the supply of an item is high, the price may be high, and that's a true or false question. When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. That's a true or false question. And our last question, we have a caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, do you have an answer for us? And you have to tell me which question you want to answer.
Can I answer question 4, please?
4, okay, let me read it again for you. Which of these will be in high supply at the stores at the beginning of the school term? I'm going to list some, so listen carefully. Books, pencils, and school bags. Or B, firecrackers and Christmas decorations. So A, books, pencils, and school bags. Or B, firecrackers and Christmas decorations.
A.
All right, what's your name?
Malika Dalton.
Okay, congratulations, Malika. Okay, and you're now in grade 3 or grade 4? I'm losing count, Malika. You in grade 3?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm in grade 3.
Okay, and what's your teacher's name?
Miss Alita Leiber.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Malika, and you have a great week at school, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so our children are learning, they're listening. We can probably take 1 or 2 more calls if you call really quickly. What is supply? That's question 1. And question 2 is a true and false question, true or false question. When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. True or false? When the supply of an item is high, the price may be high. True or false? And to call us, 469-1616, 469-1700. We want to give away at least 1 more prize today. So students, you can tell us either question 1, what is supply? Or question 3, when the supply is high, of an item is high, the price may be high. 469-1616, 469-1700, and we would love to hear from you. But of course, we know an important part of the ECCB Children's Connection program is the value lesson. And so while you're thinking about it, if we don't have any callers, we may have to have our friend fly in. This is one of my favorite people. Or, well, I don't know if I can count him as a person, but one from my favorite animals, Oliver. And so we're going to hear the wise word of the day from our wise friend, Oliver.
Well, boys and girls, welcome to Oliver's Tree. Seems like it was since last year I saw you. Oh yes, it's a brand new year. Happy New Year. And the word for today is perseverance. That means doing something in spite of difficulty or delay in achieving success. In other words, pushing through until you get it done. So, if you want to be successful this year, one of your qualities must be perseverance. Now back to your host.
All right. So sometimes, boys and girls, we are trying to solve a problem or handle a situation that we just find too difficult. And we learned from our friend Oliver this morning, we learned a new word, okay? And that word is perseverance. And perseverance means to keep trying even when it gets hard. This is a big word, but it can help us in our everyday lives. Perseverance is spelled, for those of you out there who are trying to help to build your vocabulary, it is spelled P-E-R-S-E-V-E-R-A-N-C-E. That's P-E-R-S-E-V-E-R-A-N-C-E, perseverance. Okay? And so some of you can probably think of a subject at school that you don't like as much. Maybe you find it too hard. For some of you, it might be, I think mathematics is too hard. For some of you, language arts is too hard. I don't like to read or I don't like to write. And so what we're expecting you to do is to keep going, to never give up, to work hard through it, even when it looks as though it is too tough. Okay? So keep trying even in those subjects when they get tough. And that perseverance is also helpful this sports season as well, because sometimes it's going to get difficult. You might not win the race the first time, and you'll have to keep going. Perseverance teaches us to never give up in trying to reach our goals, no matter what. So let me share a quick story with you and our friends. There was a boy named Timmy who didn't like mathematics. He didn't try at all to get good grades in this subject because he felt it was useless. One day, Timmy's teacher asked him what he wanted to do when he grew up. He shouted proudly, "I want to be an astronaut!" The teacher knew how much Timmy disliked mathematics and told him that in order for him to become an astronaut, he must be very good at mathematics. From that day forward, Timmy tried his best in mathematics. He practiced every day and asked for help from his teacher when it was difficult. His teacher kept encouraging him and wouldn't let him give up when the assignments were challenging. Because of his perseverance, Timmy became the best mathematics student in class and continued to do his best to reach his goal of being an astronaut. A lot of things we have to do are not easy, but we have to keep trying. Sometimes things get really hard and we feel like giving up. But in order to reach our goals, we must persevere. Okay? So I think that we can help each other in the process of perseverance. Sometimes your friends feel like giving up, and you can cheer them on and encourage them to persevere. We can also try to see how we can help others. Timmy's teacher helped him to persevere by encouraging him and helping him with mathematics. This resulted in Timmy becoming the best math student in his class. So now that we've learned about perseverance, we want you to think about how you plan, boys and girls, to persevere in whatever it is out there that seems to be difficult, that seems to be too much, that seems to be overwhelming. There are some of you, we spoke about mathematics, which is the academic side. There are some of you who may be looking at an athletic challenge, something that is difficult. There are some of us who can't make time for heats, and so make the bell rings before we reach the finish line. Maybe we can keep practicing so that could be our goal of making time for heats. There are some of us who have for years, there are some records at some of the schools, and I'm hearing the record was set in 1980 something, or the record was set in 1990 something. And so for some of you, you want to break a particular record during your school sports day, and you are far from the record at this point in the season, and you want to give up. And so I'm encouraging you to persevere. Your coach, like the teacher, will be there cheering you on and helping you. Your parents, like the teacher, can help you. And of course, your friends can also help you to persevere by cheering you on. And so we want to make sure that we can see how we can apply perseverance in our lives. And of course, we learned about the equilibrium, especially as it relates to supply and demand. So there are so many things for the rest of this week or next week, and the rest of this term and the rest of 2023 that we can apply through the ECCB Children's Connection program. And so we want to encourage all of you to do so. We have come to the end of another ECCB Children's Connection program, and we are so happy that you joined us today. We hope that you learned a lot about supply and about perseverance. We also want to congratulate Levandra and Malika for winning the questions this morning. And until we meet again, I am your host, Zahnela Claxton. So let's talk to you. We'll talk to you again soon. But until then, remember to persevere in order to meet your goals, and stay connected.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab the gators, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning.